Before we start going over these answers here, Alex, Matt, hold on. What I want to know is, those who took the state test, what did you think? Thought it was harder?
It was easy, but there were some questions, there was a right answer, but there was comma, different number, so I was kind of confused.
Okay.
So, like, it was.
Did you feel like we had gone over all the topics?
Yeah.
Good. All right. As I said, if you're getting 70% of those questions right, you're doing a really good job. Okay? So, I don't know exactly what percent translates out to the highest grade, and what percent the next highest, and so on. But if you're getting 70% right, you're in the two highest grades. So if you're getting close to 3 out of 4 questions right, more than 2 out of 3 right, you're doing really well. So the fact that you walk out of that test today and maybe there's 4 or 5 questions that are bugging you, well, how many questions were on the test? 25? So if 5 questions are bugging you, that's only 1 out of every 5 questions. So that means if those are the only ones you got wrong, you got 80% of them right. So let's say you made some tricks and stupid mistakes on the other ones, you probably got around 70% right. So you're doing really, really well if that's the case. All right, so let's take a look at today's quiz. We're just going to go over it quickly because it was the last in the series. Relation A, the rate of change is 8 over 1, or the slope is 8 over 1. I get that by going from the point down here to the point up here. I got to go up 8 over 1. Here the table's going up by 5 over 1. And here, you guys are still having a little bit of a hard time on how you're expressing the slope here. Some people are not putting anything down at all. Some people are putting 9x. Some people are putting -2. Those things are all wrong. The rate of change is simply 9. It's the number in front of the x. It does not include the x. Okay? And some people on this one, Stephen, I think you put y equals 1x minus 5. You're reversing the slope and the y-intercept. The y-intercept pairs up with 0, but the slope is not the denominator. It's how many you go up by over how many you go over by. So it's change in y over change in x. In this case, you're going up by 5 over 1. So it's 5 over 1, not 1. Okay, any questions on that? All right, by and large, the grades were pretty good. There were a decent number of hundreds on the test. I'm looking at the grades right here. More than half of you got 100 on it. Significantly more than half. Probably 2/3 to 3/4. Alex?
Oh, I put 5 over 1 and you marked it wrong.
I don't know that I marked that particular piece wrong. It might have been here or here. If you got one piece wrong and you got a 75, then maybe it belonged in another area.
No, it says right here, put an X.
Oh yeah, you put it as a coordinate. Thank you. Another good thing, it's a fraction when you write a rate of change. It's not as a coordinate. Okay, so now let's go to the answers to the homework. I will scroll through. If you have any questions, ask. So clearly, these sheets that I've made up for you to do, based on what Josh and Manny and who else took the test? Michelle, Candace, and Diego, do you feel like the questions that are on the test are like what we're doing? Yeah, so that means that this is very good preparation for you. And I know that they're like the ones on the final. Maybe even a smidgen harder. So, in fact, I do think they're a smidgen harder. So all in all, this is a good sign, okay? Here's the last section down here. Boys, it helps a lot to face forward and not backwards. Any questions? Okay, next one. This is probably the most dense page in the whole thing. After this, we'll go pretty quick, but these 6 questions take a little while to go over in your mind, so. Okay? Down here. Any issues? Okay, scan 3. Alex, you do realize when you're like looking around and whispering, Michael, that it's not a good thing, right? So come on, do the job right. Stop me if there's questions, guys. This one, the number that goes in here, according to this, it says X is the number of years since 1976. So if this is 2020, from 1976 to 2020 is 44 years. So that's why it has to be 44 that goes in there. Okay? And the next one talks about similar or similar or congruent. Congruent means same size. If you have a dilation, dilation changes size. So it can't be the one where they're congruent. It has to be different size. All right, next up. Michael and Alex, you guys are spending a lot more attention to each other than you are to whether these answers are correct or not. Any problems? Okay. I know we did this exact question the other day, so I think you should be pretty good with it. Temperature conversion, this means that the change in Fahrenheit, the change in Y, the Y here, it says Fahrenheit. You're going up Fahrenheit over Celsius. So the change in degrees Fahrenheit for every change in degrees Celsius. That's what you get when you figure out what the slope is. Okay? Oh, wait, was there a bottom part to that? No. Okay. We did this, I changed the numbers on this one. It's not the exact question. I'm going to just change the numbers in the other one, too. If I look at the slope here, this one says it does 1,000 feet in a minute, so that's 500 feet in 30 seconds. Half of a minute and half of 1,000. And this one here, I just plotted according to the numbers that they gave. So clearly the John Hancock Center is going up faster than the Empire State Building. Okay, the next one we've done a couple of times. You just you convert it to this and then you round it off. Three scientific notation questions. Were there any scientific notation on the test today?
I think they rated once.
One? Well, you guys said there was one yesterday and there's one today. You can count on several tomorrow. So if you're studying up at home tonight, make sure you're looking over some scientific notation type of things. And here are three really good questions. And there's a couple of others coming from yesterday's work. So if you have any questions, they're good ones to know how to do. Here's another one again that is another good question to know how to do. Okay? Remember, whenever you're adding or subtracting, you have to rewrite them as regular numbers. Michael, can you put your knees under your desk and face forward? Whenever you have to write them as whenever you're going to add or subtract, write them as a standard numeral, do the addition or subtraction, and then convert back to scientific notation. Okay. When you write out this formula, it could be like C equals for cost or Y equals, and then it's 0.3 times X, or T if you want for time, plus 10. And then what I did was I graphed it right here, and they met right around here. So that's like, I don't know, 50 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, somewhere in that range is good. 50 is probably even better answer than 45. Okay, goldfish question, this was on a couple of years ago. And it goes, look, I go up 5 goldfish, I go up $1.50. I go up another 5 goldfish, I go up another $1.50. So 5 goldfish into $1.50 is 30 cents each. These two are not linear. to be linear, the x has to have an exponent of 1, and the y. So a and b are linear. Here the x is squared, and here the x is cubed. Neither one of those is linear. And we did this exact one the other day. I might have reversed them this time. I think I reversed them this time. Initial fee of $7, $3.50 per trip, so 3.5 times there. Okay, number 10, or sheet 10, I should say. Gonna have to make it smaller yet. Okay, we have choice D, and that's because you're going up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, which is what you wanted. And for number 35, and the next one to follow, you have to check the coordinates in the problem. If the coordinates check, then it's a solution. If it doesn't check, it's not a solution. And the same exact thing applies to this guy right here. It worked, okay? Which one's not a function? This is not a function, double threes. And in the class yesterday, one of the kids who took the test said, oh yeah, we had one of those, I didn't know. And every other kid in the class looked at him and said, how could you not know? How many times have we done this, right? Okay. What's the solution? The solution is where they meet. Lenny, where you going, bud? Yeah, don't do that. Have a seat. You can throw it out on the way out the door. We got 4, 10 as a solution here. Next one. What I did was I checked -6, 8 in both of these, and it did check in both, so it is the only solution to the system. You'll never have, unless it's the same exact line, you'll never have more than one solution. And then likewise, I did the same thing here, and it's the only solution to the system. And on this one, it's choice A. All right, we didn't get through the whole thing, and you got to remember, you guys were doing your chatting during the class today, and it caused us not to get through everything. All calculators back, do not leave any out.